Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. All right, so I'm going to take about 20 minutes to talk to you about this. But first, I want to thank the PMO office and GXTalks for inviting me. I think this is really cool what you guys are doing. So I want to talk about some concepts before we go into that. There is the notion of being tomorrow-proof. About 3 or 4 years ago at Emirates NBD, we started thinking, how can we be tomorrow-proof? And if you think about it, it's a really hard question to answer. There is no right answer. It requires a lot of experimentation to figure out what tomorrow-proof is. The other challenge is tomorrow-proof is not a destination. It will always change. The question is, how frequently can you change? How do you redefine your organization to change? I think one of the best examples of tomorrow-proof is this place here. I think some of the coolest stuff you will see in the region, and I think around the world, happens in places like this. And I think the government in the UAE is leading a lot of this efforts, which I think for the private sector is a huge blessing, because it's not usually the case. I actually think the government's moving a lot faster than private sector, so we need to run faster. The other thing that I'll talk about is the norms are changing. I have 2 daughters, 10 years old and 7 years old. So a few years ago, I was driving and they were on the iPad, and the younger one goes, "Daddy, my iPad stopped working. It's broken." I said, "What happened?" Said, "It's not working." I said, "Oh, you know what? There's no Wi-Fi." And she was shocked. "What do you mean by there's no Wi-Fi?" Wi-Fi is like air. It's supposed to be everywhere. Now, for those of you who are like me, who remember the days of dial-up, just when you make the connection and it doesn't break for 30 seconds, you are jumping with joy. Now, Wi-Fi has to be everywhere. So things are changing. The norms are changing every day. The question is, what are you doing about changing the norms? And I'll talk about how at Emirates NBD we decided to look at it. I think there's a lot of initiatives being done by the government to shift from providing services to creating experiences for customers. And Live is very much like that. We wanted to shift from providing banking to being a partner for our customer, and we'll talk a little bit about how we did that. So a few years ago, a few of the consulting firms came to the bank and said, there are these fintech players who are going to come and eat your lunch. And banks will go away. So we said, we have to figure out how to make sure this doesn't happen. And so the bank decided, why don't we incubate our own startup? So they said, we're going to get a team of people, give them money, and tell them, hire people who you want, and build the bank who you want, what you want. And that's how Live started. So when we were starting, we said, who should we target? And obviously, millennials are the right population for us. They are young, they are digitally savvy. If you look at the videos on Instagram or YouTube, you'll see kids pressing buttons on their phone and then things changing. And then you give them a magazine, they start pressing the button to figure out why isn't this changing. This generation has always lived by pressing a button and things happen. Slightly different from the way a lot of organizations work. So we wanted to target them because we thought their needs are the most different from any other generation. Obviously, our 3 main markets are the UAE, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. They are the largest population. They are going to be the richest population, and they're going to be the most educated population. So obviously of interest. I see a lot of millennials here, so of interest to you guys. Now, at banks, traditionally, we've been very good at looking at your money. We ask you, how much do you make? How much are you going to bring to me? How much will you keep here? How much will you spend? But there is another part. When I go and talk to my customers and I ask them, what do they care about the most? It's not the bank they care about the most. When we give them a loan, they care about the car, not the loan. And so it's about the lifestyle they care about more. So we said, you know what? Banks are missing one part of the equation, and that's your lifestyle. And to us, this is a shift from providing a service to an experience. where we say banking doesn't need to be to the forefront. Yeah? So we want to mean more to our customers, and to do that we need to be more. Yeah? So our philosophy at Live is we want to help our customers maximize the means of their potential. Yeah? Whatever that is, yeah? We want them to maximize it. Since we are business, we had some challenges. Yeah? One is, how can you build a proposition that the millennial generation relates to? People like banks, but they usually don't love banks. Yeah? So how do you now come out and say, hey, I'm a cool bank? Yeah? The first answer is they're just faking it. Yeah? So how do you make this shift? Yeah? The second one is, how many of you have a Live account? Great. So I have a few more customers, yeah, by the end of this. It takes about 2 minutes to open a Live account. And you know how long it takes to close it? All you need to go is press on the app, the X button comes and shut it. Yeah? In that era where people are deleting apps every day, how do you create loyalty? Yeah? And this is an issue for all private sector and public sector, where you create apps and get the space on a customer's phone. How do you make sure you stay relevant on that phone? Because there are 10 other people waiting to get onto that space. Yeah? So how do you become relevant in an age where the switching cost is so low? You know, the time you had to go to the bank, fill up the forms, this stack, all these documents, bring your dad along, it's gone. Just take a phone and then in 50 seconds or 60 seconds you're done. So the switching cost has changed. The other thing is Facebook, Kareem, all these guys, Google, they don't have physical people on the street selling their product. Yeah? Can a bank that provides services do the same, just like government services? Do I need to have physical presence? Yeah? Can I reach customers without a physical presence? So can banks build a proposition where we eliminate physical presence? Yeah? And how would that work? And last and and very important, how many of you love your banks? I love it because they pay my salary also. Yeah? How many love your bank? Yeah? A few. Yeah? A few. But if I asked, how many of you love Souk, yeah, or Noon, or one of the other players, or Netflix? Yeah? You start seeing a lot more hands pop up. Yeah? So the question is, how do you build a brand that you love and not just trust? Because if you want customer loyalty, providing a functionality is not enough. Yeah? You have to provide an emotional connection. You see a dot in our brand. Why is there a dot? So for us, a dot is a moment in your life. And life is never constant. It changes. When you're in college, it's different. You get your first job, suddenly you're rich. Yeah? It changes. Yeah? You get married, it changes. When you have kids, it changes forever. I know, I have 2 kids. And does your bank change with you? Yeah? Does your product evolve as you change? Yeah? As your priorities change, is this thing changing with you? And in most cases, the answer is no. No, it doesn't. Yeah? And so whatever we wanted to build in this future paradigm has to be dynamic. It has to change with the needs of the customer. No longer do we dictate how you behave, you dictate how we behave. Yeah? And this is a huge shift for large organizations, yeah? Including the public sector. Yeah? And that's the premise we started with. So what did we do? When you join Live, the first thing we ask you about is what you like. Because one of the biggest uses of money is doing stuff you like, yeah? Or buying stuff you like. Yeah? So we ask you, what do you like? And then we go out and we build an ecosystem and we gather information and show it to you. If you like concerts, we want to make sure you see every concert, yeah? Whether it's paid or free. Yeah? We start building an ecosystem where we have this saying, start here, go everywhere. Yeah? Whatever you want to do, start from our app and go and do it. Whether it's dinner plans, whether it's travel plans, whatever it is, start here, go everywhere. Because we have 2 elements. We know what you like, yeah? And we know how much money you have. Yeah? So we started with lifestyle first. We want to get to know our customers, and we want to integrate this information so that just like you check Facebook, yeah, or Instagram, you go and check, hey, it's the weekend. It's Thursday. What am I going to do this weekend? Yeah, you just scroll through. Oh, this is cool. I'll go and do this. Yeah. Eventually, what we want to do is we know how much money you have, and we know what you like. So we'll say, hey, you spent too much because Dubai Mall had a sale last weekend. That happens to many of us. Here are 3 free events you'll love. Let's try to spend 500 dirhams only this weekend. Yeah? So we start integrating your lifestyle with the money you have to help you achieve some of the goals you want. The other thing is banking. Yeah? So this is a screen of how you open a Live account. Yeah? We started with this premise where we said we don't want paperwork, 0 paperwork. Yeah? Everything we do is digital. We onboard you digitally. We get to know you. One of the biggest challenges for financial institutions is we need to know you well. Yeah? And we get to know you digitally. You know, it's interesting. This sign, I created it when we were just launching, and I was so happy. I thought, this is fantastic. Yeah? Then I didn't realize what this means. Yeah? So we have customers who open accounts at 2 in the morning on Friday night. Yeah? The app never sleeps, but the bank shuts down. Yeah? How do you deal in this new paradigm where people think, it's okay, Friday night, 4 in the morning, I'll open a bank account. Yeah? What if there's an issue? How do you deal with this new operating model which never sleeps? Yeah? And your organization is not built to deal with this. Yeah? So one of the biggest things, so 40% of our accounts are opened either after 8 p.m. or on the weekends. Guess when? That's when the banks are closed, yeah? On most cases. Yeah? It required a lot of rethinking on how we work to make sure this happens. And that applies across every industry. It's easy to put an app out. Yeah? It's hard to make sure you deliver on the promise because it changes everything about how your organization has worked. Yeah? So that was one of our biggest learnings coming out of that. We tried to make the design fun. I think in today's age, it's paramount to have great user experience. So we worked with an agency called RGA out of London who helped us rethink. And I was just telling somebody, when we were designing the app, they had a flag. When you start speaking like a banker, they put the flag up. So you speak like the customer, yeah? Because they wanted designed like a customer, for a customer. Yeah? So I think it's really important you give customers an experience that's intuitive and one that they like. So it was great for us. And for us, it was really important that whatever we do, we talk to the customer in their lifestyle space. This is their lifestyle space, yeah? And therefore, it's important for us to engage with them in that paradigm. The other thing is when we started looking at building the bank, we decided we don't want to create a nice new app and put the old products of the bank. Yeah? So we have this concept of digital native. Are you adopting for digital? So you have a computer in front, everyone types in the computer or the iPad, and then behind a paper comes out and you start working on it. Or are you building digitally native? A lot of the banking products have been designed for a fairly long time, and there's been great innovation on it. Yeah? But then now with digital and with government services rapidly coming onto digital, there are so many more things you can do. Yeah? You can literally rethink how credit works, how all the other features work. So when we started, we decided, what do our customers want? So they love going out and eating. So we said, okay, how do you split a bill? We made it easy. On the app, you can just go, put 5 people, send them a message, and the money comes straight through you, to you if they bank with Live, Emirates Islamic, or Emirates NBD. Yeah? It's almost instant. Yeah? We started bringing in this concept of living money, where we are saying, hey, you spend on average 600 dirhams at coffee, yeah? While most people spend 300 dirhams. Yeah? It's up to you. Yeah? And you'll see some of the products we bring. We don't want to tell the customers what to do. We want to inform them, then they choose what they want to do. Yeah? Obviously, in an age where you have to take a picture of everything, yeah? Something I still don't understand. One of the things was, when people spend, you go out for dinner with friends, you want to take a picture and you want to store it. You can store it in the transaction. Yeah? Just go and store the picture. Yeah? Dinner with friends, yeah? Or this one's leaving party. Yeah? You buy something. Every time you buy something, you take the receipt and you say, I am going to keep this in a safe place. When this breaks, I'll use it. You never find it. Yeah? I never find it. Well, guess what? You can put it in the app. Yeah, you just have to go back to transaction, click on it, and the picture is there. So we started rethinking what are the things we need to do that actually customers need, yeah? Rather than what we want. The other thing we started doing is we started categorizing transactions. So we have 9 categories: food, utilities, entertainment, I think shopping, and we start telling you bills, yeah, where is your money going? You can quickly see I spent 3,000 dirhams last month on bills. It shows you 3 months. This month it's 4,000 dirhams. Yeah, why is that? Yeah, I'm spending 8,000 dirhams on food. Should I be spending so much? Yeah, or that's okay with me. Simple insight, yeah, and one of the biggest use we are seeing from our customers. So now we have over 200,000 customers in 2 years. Yeah? We acquire more customers than any other bank in the UAE. Yeah? And we've been doing so for about 6 months. Yeah? One of the biggest uses our customers are finding of the app is money management. Yeah? And we started, some of our objectives were we want our customers to become financially healthy. Yeah? We want you to know where you're spending. We want you to make the right choices. We won't tell you what the choice is. We don't think a big bank balance is your priority. That's up to you. But we want you to know and make the right choice. Yeah? So we're bringing a lot of insights that help you think, yeah, about should I do this? When we launched this, the coffee example I talked about, because I was spending so much on coffee and I didn't realize it. Yeah? We have a Costa Coffee downstairs in the building. I didn't realize how much I spend. The other thing is, how many people here save? Yeah? Usually it's very hard. So I went to Egypt, Saudi, and the UAE and sat with millennials, over 1,000 people, and we talked about the question of saving. I can tell you in all 3 countries, less than 5% of the millennials save. Yeah? And we started talking about it, and they know they need to save. It's not like they just want to blow up money. Yeah? It's a very hard task to do. Saving is a very abstract concept. Yeah? It's very hard for people to figure out how to do this. So we created goal accounts. Yeah? It's nice and easy. You go and you choose. I want to do something. I want to travel somewhere. I want to buy something. I want to just save, and there's a few more. Then we have 6 or 7 algorithms that you choose from. Every time I spend on my card, move 1 dirham, 5 dirhams, whatever you want, into this goal. Every month, if I spend less than 5,000, take the change and put it in there. Every time I get my salary, move 200 or 500 to this goal. You create these goals, yeah? And then you leave them. And it saves automatically for you. What is the best thing about this is it's incredible how much money you can save without changing your lifestyle. Yeah? And I give you some stats. So surprisingly, more men save for weddings than women. Yeah? More women save than men. Yeah? Some of the stats. Yeah? A lot of the youngsters we find are saving for a rainy day, yeah? Which is something we didn't expect. Yeah? So millennials are saving for a rainy day. What we found is when a customer created a goal account, within the 3rd month, they created 1 or more goal accounts. Because by the 3rd month, they start saying, this is really easy. I'm actually saving money. Yeah? You can go and put a target, yeah, that by December you want to save 5,000 or 7,000 in September to buy the new iPhone. Yeah? I'm sure they'll increase the price. You can go and put the target right now, and by the time the phone comes out, you have money. Yeah? This product is one of the things that we are trying to show you can rethink banking. Yeah? You can rethink services. And I think the ability, the fact that the entire UAE government is going digital and the ecosystem of data is getting richer, products like this and better ones will start coming to life, yeah? Because of the fact that data is accessible instantly. Yeah? And this is great. It's also great to try to build this savings habit in the next generation of customers. One of the things we decided to do is we are not going to market like a bank, or a traditional corporate. We want you to see yourself in our branding. Yeah? And we do a lot of cool things in our branding. We launched a chatbot. Her name is Olivia. So the way we launched the chatbot is we created resumes. We put it on LinkedIn and saying, hey, we are hiring a chatbot. And then we put 5 resumes up there and said, tell us which one you like on our social. So each one had a different personality. One was Spacey from space. One was Mustachio, who was macho. Yeah, we had a few characters. Then we did a live interview with them on Facebook Live, and we had 60,000 people view this video. Yeah? And then we asked the customers, choose the one you want. Yeah? Obviously, we wanted them to choose Olivia because we had built her. But we got them engaged. Then we said, okay, the chatbot is out there, but we know she's not that good. She just got the job. She has to learn. Help us teach it. 3,000 people signed up in less than a week to teach Olivia. Yeah? And they go on there and they talk to her, they find issues with her, and they write to us saying, hey, these are 5 issues we found with her. Yeah? So I think the advantage is the consumers are willing to engage. Yeah? And that applies for every industry. Get them involved, and your product becomes better. They become advocates of it, and I think it's a win-win. Yeah? So we're launching her. Actually, she officially is turned on today. So we'll see how this weekend goes. Yeah? I think this is probably one of the biggest things. So my personal view is that industries and government have been defined vertically for many years. What has happened is technology has been democratized. Yeah? The cost of technology has drastically gone down, and the availability of different innovation has drastically gone up. So I think some of the barriers that exist between industries will go away. If you ask a customer, do you care about your phone company or your bank or your utility company? They don't really care. What they care about is their lifestyle. Yeah? Why do you think Facebook, Instagram, all these places work? Because they bring interactions and content of all the facets of life that are interesting to them. Yeah? And I think industries will need to start making the shift, because ecosystems will survive, yeah, and not individual companies. Yeah? To get customers, you need to partner. Yeah? So we partner with a few firms, we partner with government, we are working with a few government agencies to bring in services. We are experimenting with some of the incubators in the government agencies to try to do new stuff. On the app, we partner with companies like Kareem, Fetcher, a local startup which I think is doing really well. We have Vox we are integrating with, but we are trying to build the ecosystem. Yeah? So when you're a consumer, you're not just going to a bank. You're going to an ecosystem of things you like, and you can access it through one app. We've tried to do it differently, where we focus a lot more on the customer and a lot less on the banking. That's it. That's all I had.